Perched high above the city, thunder rolled in the distance like a silent drumbeat. In the dim glow of the garden lights, a figure sat alone on the cold steps near the servants' gate. The night was soaked in rain. Silver streams slid down the tall glass windows of a mansion woman. Shoulders hunched, uniform drenched, clutching a small lunchbox as if it held her world. Inside, warm chandeliers painted the hallways in gold. But outside, she ate quietly in the downpour, each bite mixed with rainwater and trembling hands. Before I tell you what happened next, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell me where you're watching from. His name was Adrian Cole, a wealthy businessman known for his perfection. Sharp suits, sharper tongue, and a mansion where even silence had its place. Late that evening, he returned home unexpectedly. His driver opened the gates. That's when Adrian saw her. Through the misty windshield, his eyes narrowed. A maid sitting in the rain? He recognized her. Maria, one of the newer housemaids. Quiet, hard-working, invisible. The car slowed. Adrian leaned closer to the glass. Her uniform clung to her skin. She wasn't seeking shelter. She was deliberately outside in the storm, eating in silence. Something about the stillness of it unsettled him. He stepped out, umbrella in hand, shoes sinking slightly into wet gravel. "Why are you here?" He called out, his voice cutting through the rain like a blade. Maria startled, quickly shutting her lunchbox. She stood, eyes downcast. "I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to. This isn't a place for meals. You have the kitchen. Use it," he said flatly. She hesitated, clutching the box closer. "I am not allowed inside during your dinner hours, sir." The rain drummed harder on the umbrella. Adrian frowned. "Who told you that?" "No one." "It's the rule," she whispered. He walked past her, cold and confused, the scent of wet earth rising with each step. But something in her voice, calm, respectful, yet hollow, stayed with him. Inside, the house glowed with luxury. Imported flowers, polished floors, and the distant sound of classical music playing softly in the main hall. But Adrian's mind lingered on that image. A woman, soaked and shivering, eating alone like a shadow no one cared to see. Later that night, unable to sleep, he wandered through the quiet corridors. The storm had eased, leaving a slick shine on the garden stones. He noticed the back door slightly ajar. Curiosity led him out. There, near the servants' quarters, he found her again, Maria, wringing her wet clothes in a bucket, humming softly to herself. A lullaby. It echoed faintly against the walls. He watched from the shadows. Her lunchbox lay open nearby, revealing nothing extravagant. Just 2 small bread rolls, some rice, and a photo tucked inside the lid. Little boy smiling. The next morning, Adrian called the head housekeeper. "Why is she eating outside?" he demanded. The housekeeper looked startled. "Sir, she requested it. She doesn't take her meals inside. Says she doesn't want to disturb anyone." That answer didn't sit well. Days passed. Adrian observed her quietly. Every lunch break, she'd slip out with her box and sit under a tree near the back fence, rain or shine. She never spoke much. She worked with quiet precision, scrubbing floors until they gleamed, arranging flowers with care. But one afternoon, something unexpected happened. As Adrian was leaving for a meeting, his car slowed near the service lane. Maria was there again, eating under the gray sky. This time, she wasn't alone. A small boy in a thin raincoat stood beside her, laughing softly as she fed him bites. Adrian lowered the car window. "Stop," he told his driver. He stepped out, rain tapping his coat. The boy froze. Maria's face drained of color. "Who is he?" Adrian asked. Her voice shook. "My son, sir. His school ended early. I couldn't leave him alone. So I bring him here. We sit here. Because we're not allowed in the main dining area." Adrian glanced at the boy. Big brown eyes, soaked shoes, holding a paper bag as if it were treasure. "Why not tell me?" Maria lowered her gaze. "It's not my place, sir. I just work here. Rules are rules." The wind howled softly between them. Adrian said nothing, but something deep inside shifted. A memory surfaced, his own childhood. Sitting in the rain outside a shop, waiting for his father who never came. Hunger, cold, silence. The next morning, the household awoke to an unfamiliar sight. The large dining room, usually reserved for Adrian's guests, had 2 extra chairs placed at the end of the long, polished table. Plates, napkins, a lunchbox carefully opened, its contents arranged on porcelain dishes. Maria stood frozen at the doorway, unsure if it was real. Adrian, seated at the head, gestured gently. "Sit, eat here." Her hands trembled. "Sir, I can't." He met her eyes, calm, sincere. "You work under this roof. You don't eat in the rain anymore." Silence filled the room like warm light. The boy climbed onto the chair, eyes wide at the feast before him. Maria slowly sat down. For the first time, the rain outside was just a sound, not a shelter. From that day, everything changed quietly. No announcements, no speeches, just small shifts, a heater placed near the back door, extra coats for staff, lunch breaks inside. But the biggest change was in Adrian. He started noticing the faces behind the uniforms, their laughter, their silence, their quiet dignity. Weeks later, as rain returned, Adrian stood by the window. Outside, the steps were empty. No one sat alone in the storm anymore, and that, he thought, was how it should have been all along. Sometimes, the loudest lessons come from the quietest souls. Kindness isn't measured by grand gestures, but by the warmth we give when no one is watching. If this story moved you, comment, and share your Kindness Valley thoughts below. And don't forget to subscribe for more untold stories.